We all know the feeling. It's 2 p.m., you skipped lunch, you've been staring at screens all day, and suddenly your head starts throbbing, your focus evaporates, and you feel like you could fall asleep at your desk. You think you need more coffee or maybe a nap, but what you actually need is something far simpler, far cheaper, and far more powerful than any energy drink: water. Because despite being the most essential substance for human survival, the vast majority of Americans walk around chronically dehydrated, and most don't even realize it. In fact, studies show that up to 75% of Americans are dehydrated on a daily basis, and the effects aren't just about feeling thirsty. Dehydration silently attacks every system in your body, starting with your brain, moving through your heart, your kidneys, your muscles, and even your mood. So what actually happens inside your brain and body when you don't drink enough water? And why is that afternoon headache not just annoying, but actually a warning sign that your body is under serious stress? Let's decode the science of dehydration, because understanding this might change the way you think about that next glass of water. Let's start with your brain, because your brain is about 75% water, and it's the first organ to suffer when you skimp on fluids. Even a 1% loss of water, which is barely noticeable, can cause your brain tissue to literally shrink away from your skull. That's not a metaphor, it actually shrinks. And when your brain shrinks, the protective membranes around it get pulled tight, triggering pain receptors that give you that classic dehydration headache. But the damage doesn't stop there. Your brain cells also rely on water to produce neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers that control everything from focus to mood to memory. When you're dehydrated, your brain has to work much harder to perform even simple tasks. MRI studies have shown that dehydrated brains show significantly more activity than hydrated brains when doing the same cognitive task, meaning your brain is burning extra energy just to keep up. That's why you feel foggy, forgetful, and mentally exhausted. In fact, studies have found that losing just 2% of your body's water can impair attention, short-term memory, and motor coordination as much as being legally drunk. And if you're a student, a driver, or anyone who needs to think clearly, that's a terrifying statistic. But your brain isn't the only victim. Your heart, your kidneys, your muscles, and your digestive system all start sounding the alarm when water runs low. Here's what happens next. When you're dehydrated, your blood volume drops. Your blood becomes thicker, stickier, and harder to pump. Your heart has to work overtime, beating faster and harder to push that thick blood through your arteries. That's why dehydration can cause a sudden spike in blood pressure and heart rate. If you've ever felt your heart racing after a workout or on a hot day without drinking enough, you've felt this firsthand. And your kidneys? They're the body's filtration system, and they need water to flush out waste products. When water is scarce, your kidneys hold on to fluid, concentrating your urine. That's why dehydrated urine turns dark yellow. But over time, chronic dehydration forces your kidneys to work too hard, increasing your risk of kidney stones and even chronic kidney disease. Meanwhile, your joints and muscles start to suffer too. Cartilage, which cushions your joints, is about 80% water. When you're dehydrated, that cartilage thins out, making every step a little more jarring. And your muscles, which rely on water to contract and relax properly, become prone to cramps and fatigue. That afternoon leg cramp or tight shoulder might not be from sitting too long. It might be from not drinking enough water. And then there's your digestion. Water is essential for breaking down food, absorbing nutrients, and keeping things moving. Without enough water, you get constipated, bloated, and uncomfortable. It's a full-body breakdown, all because you didn't drink enough. But perhaps the most surprising effect of dehydration is on your mood. Multiple studies have shown that even mild dehydration increases feelings of anxiety, irritability, and tension. One study from the University of Connecticut found that dehydrated men and women experienced significant increases in fatigue, confusion, and anger. Another study found that even a 1% drop in hydration was enough to cause a measurable decline in mood and increase in perceived task difficulty. So, how much water do you actually need? The old 8 glasses a day rule is a decent starting point, but your individual needs depend on your activity level, climate, and body size. A better rule is to drink when you're thirsty and to check your urine color. If it's pale yellow, you're good. If it's dark, you need water. And don't forget that foods like watermelon, cucumbers, and oranges also count toward your hydration. The bottom line is this: water is not optional. It's not a diet hack or a wellness trend. It's the most fundamental requirement for your brain to think, your heart to pump, your muscles to move, and your mood to stay stable. The next time that afternoon headache hits, before you reach for another coffee or a painkiller, try a glass of water. Your brain and your entire body will thank you. And if you want to understand more about how simple habits shape your health, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell, because we're just getting started on this journey to decode the science of you.